Now, Colin Touchin, you are now a musical mentor in Hong Kong. Right?
That's right.
And escaping from the sinking land called Britain.
Maybe.
You are now finding a much better life here.
Well, it certainly is a happier life in many ways, yes.
By giving lectures on classical music.
Yeah.
As well as educating our local natives about the beauty of Mozart and Bach or whatever.
I do my best, yes.
Now, as the cliche has it, architecture is the frozen music.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I invite you here to this complex of old colonial architecture is not trying to embarrass you, as you come from Liverpool with a liberal background.
With a live building.
With an Oxford degree, and just tell me how you feel. This was built in 1841, a lovely year for all Hong Kong people, because it was the crucial year when Britain took Hong Kong. Right?
Okay.
And it was built in that same year. What do you think about it?
Well, it's the first time I've been to these buildings, but I've seen buildings like them before, both here and in other Asian countries. And clearly the Britons who travelled many miles 200 or 300 years ago decided to put their stamp on places by building what they thought would be buildings to last and buildings to impress. But unfortunately, that sense of impression is mostly in the building. It's not really about the building or what the building did or what the people did inside the building. Some of the activities that we know that happened in the name of Britain in the past are now questionable. And so people are trying to change what history was so that we can try and be polite about it or apologise for things we don't like. And I don't think you can apologise for buildings like this. I don't think you should apologise for what we've created that is substantial, solid, proud, strong, and in its way, beautiful. It's obviously also very functional.
Thank you for not talking like an Oxford University student union chairman. I thought they would have thought that these buildings smell like Rudyard Kipling, if not Somerset Maugham, all criminal names now in today's politically correct daily life in Britain or in the West.
But you can't change what they wrote. They wrote it as a function of the time, a function of their imagination. And actually, they are good literature, in some cases great literature.
Oh my God. You honestly think so?
Certainly,
good literature?
Certainly good literature,
Rudyard Kipling? Pick up the white man's burden as what you are doing now?
Well, yes, I would think that what is actually there in those words is a structure of language, a structure of rhythm, an understanding for metre that doesn't actually appear in a lot of modern writing.
You interpret his poetry from a technical angle. What about thematically? You love them?
I don't love a lot of what happened in the past of history in Britain, no. I do admire and respect that it was the foundation on which I've been born and brought up, and I also realise that I can't change that. It's part of me. At the same time, I can't apologise for it because it wasn't of my time.
Thank you. If Jacob Rees-Mogg hears what you've just said, he'll love you.
Would he? No idea. I've never met the man.
I'm not sure about Jeremy Corbyn, though.
Well, I suspect he probably wouldn't like much of what I would say, but then I find some of what he says a little bit questionable too.
Yes. Now, I mean, this complex has been renovated and converted into a complex of a shopping mall. Well, not shopping mall, but cafes and restaurants.
Yeah.
Which is now essential for tourist attractions. I hope there will be more British, American, Canadian backpackers or tourists who would love to visit here. Although the tiny architecture like this on the map, on the geographical map of the British Empire is nothing. If you've been to Calcutta and just feel awed by the grandeur of some Victorian railway stations and churches. If you've been to Singapore, there are lots and lots of more colossusly exuberant colonial buildings than this. However, this is, I don't know, I wouldn't say this is this is unimportant. To borrow a metaphor from the galaxy of classical music, this is definitely not Mozart. Perhaps a bit of a Stravinsky, I don't know. I don't mean to trivialize him. Not even Brahms or Debussy.
No, there's something more functional about what's happening here, I think. But at least what is happening is a new life for the buildings and turning it into a place that brings a lot of people in from different countries, as you say, just as Hong Kong itself does. I don't think it's yet on the tourist trail. If it were advertised more widely by the tourist office, I'm sure people will come here because there will be a lot for people to do, and it is certainly a very peaceful place to have a coffee.
Well, what I mean is political correctness should at least be a two-way traffic. Now it seems it's tilted towards one end.
The whole point about political correctness is it is not two-way. It is a one-way thing.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about it is it's so biased. It's
awful.
Untrue. I think the whole thing about that obviously has come through American university campuses as well as other places, and people trying to make sure that things are fair. Fairness is not how nature works.
Because I was told Jeremy Corbyn and his little buddy called MacDonald were, or still are, devout Maoists.
Really? Oh, well. Maybe it's just to sell newspapers.
Thank you very much. Nice to meet you again.
Cheers.
立即 follow 給 Media IG 了解每日世界要聞。